What's up, guys? Your boy, 22K13. Gonna talk about WWE Night of Champions 2015. 8 matches that must happen. This comes from WhatCulture.com. SummerSlam 2015 is in the bag, and now WWE look forward to the next pay-per-view offering. On September 20th, the company will present Night of Champions, an annual show doing with the promotion trumpet that every title will be on the line. Historically, the event has produced some stunning matches, such as last year's main event, Brock Lesnar vs. John Cena. This year it seemed unlikely that Lesnar will wrestle. At SummerSlam, the seed was thrown for yet another rematch between Brock and The Undertaker. The chances of that bout being given away a Night of Champion are nil. WWE are far more likely to present the match at WrestleMania 32 next spring. Regardless of such a marquee offering being omitted, Night of Champions should have a lot to offer fans tuning in. This article is all about potential matches on the pay-per-view and exactly why WWE should endeavor to make them happen. Not every contest listed is a title match because there are only 5 major championships on the main roster. It's possible that WWE could choose to have the NXT heavyweight title up for grabs on their show too, but this list focuses more on the main roster title, just what is in store for them, and how excited will fans be for these matches. Number 8. Seth Rollins vs. Sting, WWE World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins vs. Sting exists so early on this list because it had already been confirmed. According to WWE official website, the match is only for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, at SummerSlam, Rollins defeated John Cena to also win the United States title, making him a double champion. There's an argument to be made that also putting the U.S. belt on the line at Night of Champions would dilute the importance of the match too much. That seems to be true, but there's no reason why WWE couldn't have Seth Rollins wrestle twice on the card. The U.S. title was elevated during John Cena's reign as champ, and the same should continue with Rollins. Going further, WWE reasons that every title is on the line at Night of Champions. Therefore, the U.S. title should definitely be involved, but perhaps not during Seth's match with Sting. It seems unlikely that Sting will walk away with his hand raised, but there's still that little thread of doubt in the mind of many. Credit to WWE, this is an excellent use of Sting. Using him so sparingly is definitely working. Number 7. John Cena vs. Seth Rollins with Jon Stewart as special guest referee, WWE United States title. In many ways, this match is the most out there suggestion on this list. Jon Stewart has been quality on the microphone during his few appearances, and now has beef with Cena for whacking him with an attitude adjustment on Raw. Previously, Stewart had verbal confrontation with Seth Rollins, but he directly helped Rollins win at SummerSlam. At Night of Champions, Stewart could challenge Cena to face the man, while Ben inserted himself as special guest referee. Upon losing the U.S. title, Cena is surely due a rematch. The intrigue will be there for the match. Fans will surely feel that Stewart was poised to screw John Cena over again. If WWE wanted to add a further stipulation, in keeping with the show and theme, the United States title should be on the line. At this point, Cena isn't hurt by losses, because he can always come back strong. Beating John Cena will make Rollins look strong before his match against Sting, and will also further the ongoing angle between Cena and Jon Stewart. The latter will be an effective referee, making the match more interesting than a simple repeat from SummerSlam. Number 6. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose vs. the Wyatt family. At SummerSlam, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose emerged victorious from their match opposite Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. The babyface duo managed to overcome the heel, but it's been said about pro wrestling before that fans find it easier to get behind the good guys when they outnumbered. With the addition of Braun Strowman to the Wyatt family rank, the villains now outnumber the faces. On Monday Night Raw, Strowman was revealed as the newest member of Bray Wyatt's clan. As the segment ended, the Wyatt looked dominant, and their attack paved the way for a rematch of sorts at Night of Champions. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose have struggled to really get fans to invest in their babyface tag team. Reigns in particular is unpopular with a section of the core audience. As Night of Champion, it would be cool to see a 3-on-2 situation unfold, perhaps by stacking the odds in favor of the heels and promoting various beatdown on television. WWE could convince fans to rally behind Reigns and Ambrose. There are certainly worse matches the card could include, and it's clear this issue between both teams is far from over. Number 5. Stephen Amell vs. Stardust. Surprising many with his performance, Stephen Amell neither looked awkward or uncoordinated during his match at SummerSlam. Obviously, never did the vast majority of the in-ring work, but Amell's spot was received well by the audience. After the story had started so slowly, people seem to be at least a little invested in the whole Era vs. Stardust angle now. On Monday Night Raw this past week, Stardust turned on King Barrett. The Englishman had been his tag partner at SummerSlam, but they came up short against Amell and Neville. It was Barrett who took the deciding fall after being nailed by Neville's Red Arrow finishing move. Another tag match would make sense as things stand, so maybe it's time for Stephen Amell and Stardust to go one-on-one. Amell isn't a professional wrestler, but he showed enough at SummerSlam to suggest he could work a running married match with Stardust. The latter would obviously lead proceedings, but they could have a fine and relatively brief little contest. Number 4. Ryback vs. Kevin Owens, WWE Intercontinental title. On Monday Night Raw, WWE presented a bumper 8-man tag bout. Among the names featuring were Kevin Owens and Ryback. The duo didn't really have a lot of interaction during the match, granted, but there would be interest in a collision between the pair as Night of Champion. Ryback's Intercontinental title reign definitely needs some memorable matches. This far, the big guy has struggled as champion. He's a popular figure, but his title reign is somewhat of a letdown compared to the one Daniel Bryan promised before injury. Making matters worse, Ryback has had his own fitness problems. His super threat bout at SummerSlam against both the Big Show and The Miz were also unsatisfying, only going a little over 5 minutes in length. By contrast, Kevin Owens vanquished Cesaro in a fine effort. The clash went around 15 minutes and was yet another example of how well Owens fit into the main roster. He already challenged John Cena for the United States title, and Kevin Owens would be an ideal opponent for Ryback's Intercontinental strap. If he were to win the belt, few fans would be disappointed. Number 3. Sasha Banks vs. Nikki Bella, WWE Diva title. Throughout the entire female revolution premises currently sweeping across WWE, Sasha Banks has become one of the most popular divas. Fans are buying into what the boss has to offer, and her NXT Women's title match against Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn was hailed as one of the best matches of the entire year. Banks is hot right now, and it's time to capitalize. Going close to 20 minutes at TakeOver, Sasha has shown she can handle big match pressure. She played a limited role in the Team PCB vs. Team Bad vs. Team Bella bout at SummerSlam, but the audience continued to center her name throughout. Nikki Bella's reign as WWE Diva Champion has been lengthy, but it stands to reason that she is about to be supplanted by a new face. Sasha Banks is a perfect candidate for that role by switching the Diva title at Night of Champion. WWE will be showing that they're serious about the new women on the main roster. Better yet, Banks dropped the NXT title to Bayley, meaning she's free to capture another championship. Number 2. Rusev and Summer Rae vs. Dolph Ziggler and Lana. If WWE don't present a big mixed tag team match to blow off this feud, there's something wrong. At SummerSlam, fans showed great interest whenever Lana and Summer Rae became physically involved. Surely that momentum would carry on over to Night of Champions, during which both divas could be let loose on one another. The double count-out finish to the match between Dolph Ziggler and Rusev just begged for another encounter. It's unlikely the writing staff could gain mileage for the feud out of another single encounter, so a tag team match seemed like the best way to go. during the bout. WWE could even tease physicality between Rusev and Lana because that's the main thread holding the entire situation together. There have been rumors online that WWE, unconvinced by Lana's ability inside the ring, a mixed tag affair will match any deficiency as the Velveteen Russian will only be called upon to deliver a few spots. Realistically, Lana in some way would only need to brawl to elicit a response from the crowd. And number one, the New Day versus the Dudley Boys, WWE Tag Team title. As things stand post Monday Night Raw, there's little chance the Dudley Boys won't wrestle for the WWE Tag Team title as Night of Champion. Evading the New Day own private party, the multi-time former champ received a huge reaction from the crowd inside the Barclays Center. Fans were enthused to see them, and it makes sense the same could be said of a title challenge. Interestingly, the Dudley brothers also had a face-to-face confrontation with the primetime player. The latter duo was sat at ringside doing commentary on the New Day versus the Lucha Dragon, so maybe they could be involved at Night of Champion. The potential is there for a few different matches on the pay-per-view. On one hand, the Dudley Boys could simply challenge the New Day for the belt. That seems like the most likely scenario, but WWE could also choose to insert the primetime player into the match, making it a triple threat tag encounter. Whatever the company choose to do, fans will pop like crazy if the Dudley Boys were able to capture the WWE Tag Team title one more time. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.